friends, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, my name is Dee. I am a Seint beauty artist and a DIY lash enthusiast. So today's video is going to be on how I'm able to achieve like a full coverage look using minimal makeup. So there's no surprise if you've watched my channel, I absolutely love the Seint products. That is why I became a Seint beauty artist, because I really, truly enjoy using the Seint products. If you don't know what Seint is, it's basically a one compact system where you literally have everything all in one compact. You can buy different color You can buy different size compacts depending on what you want. You can just do 4. It's completely customizable, but it is cream makeup. So the benefit of that is, especially if you have dry skin like me, your skin is gonna love this. There's a lot of skincare like properties to it. It's going to moisturize, it's going to condition, it's got titanium dioxide in it, so it's going to protect your skin from the sun. It's got a lot of benefits to it, but it comes in this one complete customizable compact, and it's amazing. I've been using it for over 2 years. If you go through my YouTube channel, you will see all the foundation reviews that I've done. I've tried a ton of foundations, BB creams, CC creams, all the works. This is the only face product, cream product, foundation product, whatever you want to call it, that I've ever used for this long. I have never used any foundation as long as I've used this. I will not go back to regular foundation. This will be my ride and die for forever, basically. That is how much I like it. So you can go through my videos and see that I have tried a lot of foundation stuff, and this stuff is honestly and truly the best. So I'm gonna take you through kind of how I get, like I said, that full coverage look using minimal makeup. First, I'm gonna prime my skin. I've already done my whole skincare. I've been double priming lately. I've been using the Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics Oil Primer. And basically what I do is I take a little bit of it and I put it on my T-zone. And the reason for that is I am very dry in my T-zone. So a lot of people who are like oily combination, a lot of times they're oily in their T-zone. I am literally the opposite of that. I get a lot of flakes right around here, right on my forehead, and then right on my chin. So I like this stuff because it kind of penetrates my skin. It helps with the dry flakes and everything. And it just gives a really good glow. The other thing that I've been using is the Mary Kay Foundation Primer with sunscreen. It's got SPF 15. I just take it, it's a little bit more kind of silicone feeling. It doesn't have silicone in it. You don't want to use silicone products when you're using Seint products because it will break down the makeup, but it almost has that silicone-like feeling to it. And I like mixing these two because I feel like I get the glowiness from the oil primer, but then I get the longevity from the Mary Kay foundation primer. I don't know. That's just what I've been doing. It's extra. You definitely don't need to have 2 primers in order to wear the Seint makeup. I just stumbled across that combination, loved the way it looked, loved the way my skin looked, and just went with it. So, but that's basically what you do. I do recommend priming your skin. I do feel like it does help with the makeup going on a little bit easier. It does help with the longevity of it. And really the primer, or whatever primer you choose, is really dependent on your skin. If you've got a lot of, pores, you may want to go for a primer that kind of airbrushes those pores, those larger pores. If you're dry like me, I highly recommend the oil primer. I know the e.l.f., I think it's like Hydra Grip or Power Grip or something like that, is a favorite among those people that I follow on Instagram. There's a variety of different primers out there. Unfortunately, it really depends on what you need, what you want, but I do recommend a primer because I do feel like they really work. So kind of going through my makeup palette, again, you can completely customize this depending on what your needs are, depending on what your budget is. You do not need all of this stuff. I literally have, this is the biggest size that they carry. And you can see here, I mean, it is a mumbo jumbo kind of crazy size. You do not need this. I obviously have this because I'm a Seint beauty artist and I like to try out the different things and be able to recommend them and do different looks and all that stuff. But you can literally go, let me see if I have one here. Here's a smaller one. This carries 8. So you could do 4 here and then it's a double stack. They have ones where it's just 4, where you could put just 4, everything that you need for a face. So it really is 100% customizable. Let me see. Oh, this is the 4. So if that's all you want to do, you want to put your main highlight, your brightening highlight, you know, a bronzer and a blush, boom, everything you need. And I will recommend one brush for you, and it's super affordable, it's customizable. So you do whatever you want to do, whatever works for you. That is why I'm here. I can make suggestions, recommendations, but at the end of the day, you choose what goes in your palette, and that's what I love about it. So kind of going through my palette, I do have a color corrector. These are the two, or actually 3 color correctors that I use. I've been using this, I think this is Mango. Can't even remember. This is Mango. So this is a brightening, or it could be a brightening highlight, but it is one of our highlight colors, kind of like foundation, if you will. And I actually use it under my eyes. I feel like because I have 2 different colors going on, I have blue and I have green. I like this because it almost encompasses both of them. It has a little bit of that orangey kind of look. I'm finding with Mango that I literally just have to use Mango, and it color corrects both of the colors. So if you have dark eye circles or any other correction that needs to be done, what I do is you fill out a jot form, and I'll link it down below. You fill it out, you give me a couple of photos that are in indirect light, some bright indirect light, preferably in front of a window, so that I can see the true skin tone and what you're working with. And obviously you shouldn't have any makeup on it. And then what I do is I look at it and I make recommendations based on what you have that you're dealing with. If you have discoloration, if you have redness, all those things, I'll make recommendations. So that is that. The other thing that I do is after I go in with every single color, I will go in with a beauty blender. And actually, this is not a beauty blender. This is a Real Techniques sponge. These are my favorite. But I'll just go in, and what I'm doing is I'm just making sure that there's no harsh lines, that it's pressed in, and it's just kind of mushed into my skin. It's airbrushed, it's good to go. And it's blended out really, really well. So the next thing that I do is, as you can see, I need a new color. This is the color June. This is also a main highlight color, but for me, I use it for covering redness. Now, depending on your skin tone, Aspen, which is a contour color, might work better for you. So for me, this one works just fine. And I'm taking the blend brush. This is one of the lightest kind of finishes, basically. It doesn't pick up a lot of product. So with color correcting, I like to use this one because I'm camouflaging it. I'm not packing on color. I just want a light wash of color so that I can kind of cancel out that redness. And then I go in with my main highlight shade. And then again, I'm taking the Real Techniques blender, and I'm just going in and I'm making sure that there's no harsh lines. Everything's blended out. Everything looks smooth, all that jazz. So there, I mean, you could see pretty much everything is kind of camouflage. Now I kind of go back and forth between colors. This is White Peach. It is, I have found that it is a little bit too light for me. So I actually shaded up and I ended up going with Aurora. Ooh. And these are all magnetic, so they're not gonna fall out. You can travel with them, and that's what I love about them. But I've been using Aurora. Now there are so many different ways that you can apply this makeup. If you've ever seen like the cheetah hack method where there's dots all over the skin, some people smear it, some people go in with a brush, some people go in with a damp beauty blender. There are all different ways, and there are benefits for the different ways that you apply it. With the smear method or the dot method, it's super easy. You put it on, one layer, you walk out the door. I use those methods if I'm running a little bit late, if I want minimum look, if I don't want a lot of full coverage, if I just want to sweep a color, those different methods are good. So one thing that I recommend is when you get your palette, play with the different methods. Do the smear method, do the dot method, do the cheetah hack method, apply it with a sponge, try it out. The beauty about makeup is what works for one person may not work for another person, and a method that works for you may not work for somebody else. Or if you're like me and the way that makeup works, some days I use one method, some days I use another, and there's no right or wrong way to do it. You just have to find what works best for you. So play with it, apply it with different brushes, go in there and do it. So I'm just gonna go in and I'm just gonna do the smear method for now and show you guys. I'm gonna apply one color at a time, and you can kind of see how I build up that color or that coverage to get full coverage, and it still won't look cakey. It still will be using minimal product. Now, what I do at this point is I will grab my 3D foundation brush. This is the brush that I recommend for everybody who's starting out. A lot of people ask me, hey, do I need to use the Seint brushes or can I use other brushes? My answer to that is you can absolutely use other brushes. I never want to say that you can't, because you can. The problem is though, a lot of brushes are made for liquid foundation, and liquid foundation is liquidy. It's not cream. So you're not going to get the blending ability. Those brushes aren't made for the cream products. The Seint brushes are, and therefore you're going to find that they blend better, that you're not going to pick up as much product with the brushes. There's just going to be so many more benefits of using the Seint brushes because that's what they're formulated with. You can use other brushes, but your finish may not be as good. The blending may not come out as good, that sort of thing. So again, never want to say you can't, but I do recommend the Seint brushes because I do feel like they blend out the products better, and they're formulated to blend out these products specifically, and there are a lot of benefits with that. So this is the Seint 3D foundation brush. This is the brush that, to me, again, I recommend it when people are starting out. This is the only brush that you need. You can do every single thing in this foundation. You could even apply eyeshadow because you could just use this end. I mean, you can literally do every single thing that you need to do for your face with this one brush. So I like this end, and yes, I need to clean my brushes. I'm gonna be doing a video on it of how to clean the brushes and how to keep them maintained and all that stuff, but don't look at this because life. I keep forgetting, and I'm like, oh yeah, I need to clean my brushes. What I'm gonna do at this point is I'm gonna go in with a setting mist. This is the e.l.f. Dewy Coconut. I'll be honest with you, it's not my favorite. It is very hydrating, but I like the Milani all day I think it's like all day setting mist. That's the one that I just used up, and I highly recommend that because I did feel as though it helps blend my makeup out, and you'll see here, it just kind of dampens the makeup a little bit, and then it just makes it so much easier to blend out. But what I liked about the Milani one is it actually helped with longevity, like legit help with longevity. So I feel like that one, I'm using this one just because it's in, you know, I have it in stock basically. But if I had to recommend a setting mist, it's definitely that one. And I will be going back to that one probably sooner rather than later because this one just isn't doing it for me. So what I'm gonna do is I'm kind of doing like a stippling motion. I'm kind of pressing it into my skin and just making sure that it's kind of blended in. And then what I do is I go in and I press it with my makeup sponge. I'm gonna go in with my bronzer. So I have been doing my bronzer first and then my contour. You do not have to do both of them. It is completely extra. Whatever you feel more comfortable with, if you want that warmth and you wanna kind of brighten or warm up your face, then bronzer is a better choice. If you wanna kind of build those shadows and kind of build, you know, cheekbones and all that stuff, then contour is your choice, or it's going to be a better option. You do not have to do both of them. I do both of them because I'm extra. But basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in. This is the color right here. This is Bella. This is what I prefer. This is probably the most recommended one that I do, but it really depends on your skin tone. So again, if you send me the pictures, you can get a free color match. I will customize and recommend specific colors for your skin tone that's going to look amazing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna dot it in here, and I'm gonna go on the top of my cheekbones. And basically with this, I'm thinking about all the areas where the sun hits. So I'm just adding warmth to my skin. I'm not contouring it or anything like that. I'm just kind of brightening it up a little bit, warming it up. And thinking about where all the places that it hits the sun hits my skin. Now I will also bring it down here. And the reason for that is a lot of times I just want to warm up my neck and make sure that it's consistent and it's warm as well. There we go. Again. So next I'm gonna go in with my contour, and this is when I'm gonna grab this one. The contour that I'm using is Ash. Again, this is what you like, you know, customize it. So I'm just plotting it in. And I'm going a little bit above that indent because I want that lifting effect. I don't necessarily want that sharp edge. And the reason why I like to do bronzer first is a lot of times when I was doing my contour first, I felt like I would have my contour where I wanted it, and then I would go in with my bronzer and it was kind of moving it. And so I was like, well, that's kind of opposite of what I want to do. So I found this way works better because I can be more precise with my contour and put it exactly where I want. Now, what I normally do at this point is I will go back in on the areas that I need a little bit more coverage. I still do see those dark eyes kind of poking through. I usually get red around here, so I do like to pack a little bit more makeup on my nose and a little bit on my chin, because those are the areas that the makeup breaks up the quickest, and that redness starts peeking through. So I'm just gonna take my sponge, I'm gonna put it into that Aurora color, and I am literally going to dab it on those areas that I want a little bit more coverage. So the good thing, what I like about the sponge is it's not picking up a ton of product. So I'm not getting that cakey look. I'm getting the coverage that I need and I want, but with minimal makeup because the sponge does not pick up a lot of makeup. And I'm just going through and I'm putting a little bit extra on the areas that I need. So next I'm gonna go in with my cheek color, and this is the color Nude. It looks super, super brown, and it was definitely a scary color, but I absolutely love it because when you blend it out, it blends into this really pretty flushed kind of color. I love it for the fall because I feel like it has that kind of warmth in it. It has a little bit of a brown undertone, but for us fair skin girls, like this is the one that I recommend if you want a little bit more of a natural kind of flushed look. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of my makeup. I'll come back because to me, like, okay, it's flawless or whatever, but I like to do like my eye makeup because then you can see the full look and you can see like this is like half baked. I'm gonna be fully baked, so I'll be right back. So this is the finished look. I, of course, didn't use Seint eyeshadow because that would make sense. I use the Senegence. So I use the Senegence eyeshadow, Shadowsense, I think it's called. This is in Copper Rose. So it's this really pretty kind of orangey color. I thought it was perfect for the fall. For my brows, I'm using the Florence Mills brow pencil, Tint and Tame eyebrow pencil. This is in the color Taupe, so I like that. And then for my eyeliner, this is Juvia's Place. This is the Nubian eyeliner in Cocoa. I like to use kind of a brown eyeliner because black is a little bit too harsh, but I do like black lashes. So this is the Tarte tubing mascara. This is the new mascara that they just came out with, and I absolutely love it. I'm gonna be doing a video soon of the Tarte versus the Thrive Cosmetics because I feel like the Thrive one is the most popular one when it comes to tubing, at least from what I've seen. So I wanna see which one is better. They're pretty much the same price point, but one might be better than the other. So stay tuned for that. But this is it. This is the full coverage look with minimal makeup. You saw exactly what I put on my face. I absolutely love it. So let me know if you have any questions. I'll leave the jot form down below. If you're interested in getting a color match, it's 100% free. I am not going to harass you or hound you or anything like that. I will send reminder emails. I check in with my customers regularly, especially after you get the product. Hey, have you tried it? Do you need any help? I check in a couple weeks later just to make sure that everything's going well. And hey, if you don't respond, that's it. I'm not one of those sellers or anything like that that's going to hound you or try to convince you into purchasing something that you're not interested in. I just want to be here to help you. So hopefully you give me an opportunity to become your Seint Beauty artist if you are looking for 3D foundation and looking for changing up your routine, especially if you have maturing skin like me or you have dry skin. I would love to help you on your beauty journey. So let me know if you have any questions. Please leave them down below. Until next time, bye.